Number 9, Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. I've called Dr. Russel Norman.
My question is to the Minister of Finance and asks, does he have any concerns regarding the membership of the tax working group?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, no, I don't. The members of the tax working group were appointed by Victoria University, and where they have need for a wider range of expertise, they invite people in, including experts on poverty and economists who may have views that don't correspond with those of the group.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does he have any concerns with PricewaterhouseCoopers chairman John Shewan being on the tax working group in light of Mr. Shewan's advice to Westpac to use tax reduction measures that the High Court subsequently found to be unlawful and which cost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars in lost revenue?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, no, I don't. As I said, Victoria University appointed a group of acknowledged tax experts, and regardless of who their clients are, their advice to government will stand or fall on the merits of that advice.
Supplementary. Stuart Nash.
To the Minister of Finance, why did the government lend its support to the formation of the tax working group when the Minister appears to have ruled out the vast majority of its recommended options as presented to date?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, in fact we've made it clear through the year that we've ruled out almost nothing.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is he concerned that, according to the Auckland High Court, Mr. John Shewan advised Westpac to use tax reduction measures in order to pay a tax rate of only 6.5% instead of the corporate rate of 30%, and that these tax reduction measures were subsequently found to be unlawful tax avoidance?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I don't intend to make comment on the case in any way that might compromise the Crown's position. As I said before, the advice of the tax working group will stand or fall on its merits from the government's point of view, regardless of who offered that advice.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. How does he think the recommendations from the tax working group will look in the eyes of ordinary New Zealanders if, for example, the tax working group suggests increasing GST on ordinary New Zealanders? Well, one of the experts on the group has been advising overseas banks on how to avoid tax to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars.
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, I think the public will judge the outcome of this exercise by the wisdom of the government's decisions, where the government will have a look at the advice. It will decide whether there is a strong enough case for change, and any case for change will have to balance equity with positive economic effect.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, so far as he knows, are there any other members of his tax working group involved in court cases involving tax avoidance?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, not to my knowledge.
Question number 10, Charles Chevalier.